Here we go again, for better or worst, and slice to see you again. Southgate gains chance for a pizza Euro revenge as Germany's 2-2 draw means England's arch-enemy will go head-to-head in a mouth-watering round of 16 game at Wembley on Tuesday. What a game.
Now, for the next 2 hours, we're joined by the former Tottenham midfielder, the chunk, Jamie of HAVE.
Jamie of HAVE is
Good morning, boys. Good morning.
Let me get the first blow in right away.
Go on, you're going to go in deep here.
Let me get the first one right in.
Boogie boogie.
Who was it who said, I hope we draw, I hope we finish second. We got to, we got
Mate,
to get in this group.
I wanted us to
I'm
finish
looking
second.
at the other group. You got Belgium, you got Portugal in there, you got Italy, you got Austria, you got France, the Swiss, Croatia, Spain. Look at the easy route England have got here if you beat the Germans.
Ali, look at him reading off the piece of paper. He doesn't even know who scored for Scotland. He's the most un-Scottish Scot I've ever known in my life. He's just about as Scottish as Tom Kearney.
And when was the last time you won a quiz?
He didn't know who scored for Scotland.
Listen, the man's been working, cut him a bit of slack.
I know.
He's having a busy period.
Thank you.
Get out of here.
Right, come on, tell me last night, where did you watch your games? Was that not brilliant last night?
I did. I loved it. Yeah, I mean, it was
brilliant.
Obviously, I was watching the France-Portugal game because just watching Mbappe and Ronaldo go head to head, that was the game to watch. But I wanted to obviously kept flicking over because just thinking, obviously we've won the group, so it could be Germany, it could be Hungary. I mean, didn't know who we were going to get in the end. And look, to be honest, I didn't fancy any of them. You know, obviously Hungary would have been probably the ideal scenario. But if you're going to pick out of France, Portugal, and Germany, I'd say Germany's probably the team that you'd probably go for.
Listen, I totally agree with you. But do you know something? The team that have been most impressive in that group are going out, and that's Hungary. I think they're the team that's been most impressive. Listen, we all know the qualities of all the other teams.
They finished bottom.
The team that surprised us in that group's been Hungary. But Jamie, it was brilliant. I was telling Big Al, I don't know if you heard me with him. I went for a pint. I did the Spain Slovakia game, and I went for a pint to watch. And it was brilliant. Yeah, both games were on.
Both games on.
So I could see it, the action as it was happening.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. I mean, Portugal were out, Hungary were out, Germany were out at one point. Brilliant. That's what
I just look at it and I think, England, Germany, it doesn't get any bigger than that, does it? I mean, England, Scotland was big, but now actually we're playing like a decent team, a team that can actually score. So
what do you think? Tell me, what do you think?
It's 50-50.
That's exactly what I said.
It is a 50-50.
England have to improve. They have to improve.
I think England need to be better. I do. I think they have to be better than what they've shown. But I think, look, we haven't conceded a goal. We finished the group top. Germany have been beaten already in the competition, so they weren't great against Hungary. So if you look at it, you go, on paper we're a better side, but it's just England, Germany. Who
plays in midfield?
Well, I think, in my opinion, I think you play Saka and you play Grealish, you play Sterling, you play Kane. I think you play the team that played the other night because, for me, Grealish has to play. I don't know why there's this talk of him not playing and not being involved. He was brilliant the other night. He makes things happen. He got the assist. He draws defenders. He draws fouls. He commits people. And then you've got to have someone who's direct. We've been crying out for someone who's, gets at it and runs through the middle and goes with the ball. And that was Saka.
Right.
So I think you have to play him. For me, as much as I love Foden, I think you have to drop him because you have to play Saka because he was brilliant the other night.
If Mount's allowed, you playing Mount?
No, I'm playing Grealish.
Right. One sitter, two sitters.
Yeah, I think you have to play Rice, Phillips. That would be my team. My team would be the team that played the other night. I thought that first 45 minutes was probably the best we've played in the competition. Second half was a bit dull affair, and Grealish coming off didn't look happy coming off, did he? But I don't know why they keep dragging him.
Did you play Harry?
What do you mean?
I would, yeah.
Harry Kane?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Dropping him?
Well, I'm just asking Ali. Would you play Harry?
I've got to say, I think it's a valid question. As a matter of fact, I would play him, but I don't think you can have a go at him for asking the question.
Come on,
I'm playing him, right? But you can tell me he's looked himself.
I think he looked more himself the other night when he had players that are running off him.
Yeah,
like that. That was the first time where I was seeing.
By the way, you could count in one hand the amount of crosses that he's had into the box.
Well, yeah, exactly. The delivery's not been there for him, and I think the first 2 games, no, I thought he was poor, but I think everyone was coming short. The other night against Czech Republic, we looked like we were looking to get beyond the team and get behind defences, and it's going to be a tough game against Germany. They play 3 at the back. They played this 3-4-3, but that gives you.
They're conceding Germany, aren't
they?
That's
the thing. You can score against them, and look, we struggled against Scotland. They played 3 at the back. Germany played a similar formation. So it's something we need to address and something you need to look
at.
What
I don't like Harry keep coming deep all the time. He's getting frustrated and he's coming too deep to get the ball and he's trying to supply players.
Yeah,
you've got to get him up there. And as Ali said, he's not getting the proper service into him.
But that's why I think you have to play Grealish, because he's the linker. He's the one that can then get in the pockets and make things happen, and then Harry Kane can stay higher. I think he looked more dangerous the other night. Didn't quite happen for him in terms of scoring, but he had a couple of chances. I just think you've got to play Grealish, and if he don't, I'll be so disappointed if he don't start. I really do. I think Maguire played well.
What about Henderson here? Where does he come into this? Off the bench again?
Yeah, I think he's just going to be a bit part player in this competition, to be honest. I just think you're into the knockout stages now. He hasn't got enough. He hasn't played enough minutes to kind of warrant starting, and I think Phillips and Rice have done well enough to obviously keep their position. Harry Maguire played the other night. He started, come through the game, looked good. And the thing is with Harry Maguire, as much as I think Tyrone Mings deserves great credit for what he's done, Harry Maguire, when he gets it, he'll stick it, he'll pass forward, like it's not sideways or back to Pickford.
He's positive.
He's positive with his passing. He'll stick it into Rice or he'll thread a ball into Harry Kane's feet. He's always looking to kind of, build up and try and play forward. He's more positive with his play. So that, for me, is why he probably starts.
But you wouldn't play Mount?
I wouldn't play Mount. He's had to go into isolation. He's not training with the team.
Yeah, I know. I hear you, but it's a fact. I think it's given Gareth a real problem.
Oh yeah.
And by the way, we haven't even discussed that whole issue. How those 2 lads had to self-isolate. That whole thing's bizarre.
How do you think Billy Gilmore feels? They've all gone home.
Oh man.
And he's having to self-isolate.
Still sitting in a room in Darlington or something.
He's in a hotel room in his own for another 5 days.
Just a quick one. The FA are seeking permission from Public Health England to allow Mason Mount and Ben Chilwell to take part in socially distanced training ahead of the last 16 tie after they had to self-isolate following contact with Billy Gilmore. That's in today's Daily Mail.